The well-known car dealership Senfeng Group in Yangcheng has gone bankrupt. Many car owners discovered that their vehicle certificates were used as collateral, preventing them from registering their vehicles. This incident has garnered widespread attention on various platforms. To understand the current situation, we went to the scene immediately. Inside the showroom, the display cars were still there. However, when we contacted some sales staff, they refused to be interviewed. Senfeng Group is a large car dealership group in Yancheng, and it has been heavily affected this time, especially the Audi and BYD 4S stores under Senfeng's management. We signed the contract on June 5th and picked up the car on June 14th. After taking a loan, the full amount was paid to the 4S store. They told me to use a temporary license plate for a few days before I could register the car. We thought that was fine and used the temporary plate. When I recently tried to register, they told me that the bank had frozen their accounts and their certificates were being held as collateral by the bank. But all the money for the car was paid and the dealership should have given me the certificate. The 4S store staff told us to go ahead and sue them. We visited multiple times and filed complaints, but the salespeople remain indifferent even if we scold them. Many consumers are facing similar issues. They bought cars from the 4S store, but the certificates are held by the bank, preventing registration. Some have not even received their cars yet. Usually, consumers have to wait for the dealer to redeem the certificates before the cars can be legally used. However, if a dealer diverts the loan funds and the financial chain breaks, redeeming the certificates becomes indefinitely delayed, leaving consumers helpless with cars but no valid certificates. On July 7th, news spread online that Senfeng Group, Yancheng's largest car dealership, had gone bust, and its owner, Shen Feng, had fled, with other key personnel unreachable. The worst hit are those who paid but haven't received their cars, especially those who took out loans to get discounts. They now have to continue repaying the loans without having the cars. Previously, Chinese people were familiar with unfinished buildings, and now we see the emergence of unfinished cars. Senfeng Group reportedly owns over 60 4S stores and represents more than 25 brands, including Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Lincoln, XPeng, Ito, and NIO. Its subsidiary, Senfeng International Auto City, is the largest in Yancheng and the largest personal investment car trading hub in East China. Insider revealed that Senfeng Group has severe cash flow problems, with over 4 months of wages and social security payments overdue, amounting to tens of millions of yuan in arrears. A social media commentator noted that the mysterious disappearance of Senfeng Group's boss has left over 60 4S stores as abandoned islands. He pointed out that the Chinese car market is tough, with traditional fuel vehicles facing unprecedented challenges from the booming electric vehicle market. Despite holding many brands and models, Senfeng Group could not weather this transformation, leading to massive stockpiles of vehicles, becoming a heavy burden, making it extremely difficult to recover funds. This event signifies the industry's shift from prosperity to decline. In 2024, the price war in the car market has become even fiercer than last year, pushing car dealers to their limits. Guanghui Group, once a top car dealership in China, is now on the verge of delisting. Its net profit in the first quarter of this year was just over 70 million yuan, a sharp drop of 86.6%. Since June, its stock price has been below 1 yuan per share for 20 consecutive trading days, triggering delisting conditions. On July 21st, the Shanghai Stock Exchange issued a pre-delisting notice for Guanghui Group, indicating it is close to permanent delisting. Before trading was suspended, Guanghui's stock price was 0.78 yuan per share, with a market value of 6.5 billion yuan, a 95% drop from its peak of 16.15 yuan per share, shrinking its market value by over 120 billion yuan. The suspension of Guanghui shares has caused a stir in both the capital and car markets. In 2016, Guanghui became China's first car dealership group to exceed 100 billion yuan in both asset scale and revenue. From 2016 to 2021, it held the title of China's largest car dealer for 6 consecutive years. It was once highly successful. In June 2015, Guanghui successfully listed on the A-share market. In June 2016, it acquired Hong Kong-listed Baoxin Auto Group Limited, now renamed Guanghui Baoxin. This marked the beginning of its rapid expansion. As of December 31, 2023, Guanghui operated 735 outlets nationwide, including 695 4S stores, covering 28 provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities. It was a top seller for luxury brands like BMW, Audi, Volvo, Jaguar Land Rover, and Maserati, with 245 outlets for ultra-luxury and luxury brands. Besides facing delisting, Guanghui has been plagued by store closures, wage arrears, difficulties in car delivery. What exactly is going on? An industry insider said the operation was too extensive. In the past, if one area failed, another could compensate, but Guanghui didn't invest in new energy vehicles. In the first half of this year, traditional fuel brands collapsed across the board. Financial problems arose, and delisting became inevitable. If this continues, more large groups are likely to collapse because the bigger the group, the larger the funding gap. With the intensifying price war among Chinese car manufacturers and the diversification of sales channels, traditional car dealerships are under enormous pressure. Starting in 2023, the car dealership industry has been hit by significant news, including the listing of the large dealership group from the Shanghai Stock Exchange. On June 30, 2023, Pengda, known as the King of, was delisted from the Shanghai Stock Exchange. This dealership group, which once boasted over 1,400 4S stores, went bankrupt, shocking the automotive industry at the time. Additionally, another large dealership, Yong'al Group, went bust in early 2024. Reports suggest that Guangdong Yong'al Group faced bankruptcy due to interrupted financing, leading to the seizure of over 80 of its 4S stores, representing brands like Lynk & Co., Lotus, Ion, and Volvo. Only the Tesla store was taken over by the manufacturer, while cars in other stores were almost entirely removed. The group also owed wages to more than 1,000 employees, and many car buyers couldn't receive their vehicles despite having paid. Yong'al Group was one of China's top 100 car dealership groups and a significant player in South China, with stores in cities like Dongguan, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Before the collapse, the owner left a message for the senior management: "You will have to work hard in the future." It's sad to see that within just a year, multiple Chinese car dealership groups like Sanfeng Group, Guanghui Group, Pengda Group, and Yong'al Group have all fallen. In China, car dealerships are called 4S stores, representing a franchise model that combines 4 services: sales, spare parts, service, and survey. During China's rapid automotive growth era, these dealerships made substantial profits, often breaking even within a year of opening. Large dealerships were more like money printers, with many companies going public. At its peak, there were over 30,000 4S stores nationwide. Since China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001, the domestic car market developed rapidly, and 4S stores sprung up like mushrooms, becoming the preferred channel for consumers to buy cars. However, since 2015, closures of 4S stores have been occurring occasionally, with a wave of closures starting in 2019. The operational situation worsened during the pandemic lockdowns. In the past 2 or 3 years, the wave of 4S store closures has accelerated. Industry data shows that in recent years, about 50% of dealers have been operating at a loss, 20% broke even, and only around 30% managed to make a profit. From the beginning of the pandemic until now, over 10,000 4S stores have closed. According to the China Automobile Dealers Association, the number of 4S stores that closed down in 2021 and 2022 were 2,362, 1,400, and 1,757, respectively. Data from Autohome indicates that more than 2,500 4S stores closed in 2023, setting a new record. The outlook for 2024 is even grimmer. In just the first half of this year, nearly 2,000 more 4S stores have closed across the country. It's likely that the industry will eliminate 10,000 4S stores in the next 5 years. A dealer described the recent state of the auto dealership industry as a scene of devastation.
Today, we talked to 5 frontline salespeople from traditional joint venture brands. From what they said, it's clear that the wave of 4S store closures has just begun. Let's see what they had to say, ranked by severity. A frontline salesperson from a Mercedes-Benz dealership said that while their store sales volume was higher in the first half of this year compared to last year, the profits were extremely poor. Last year, at least they were making a profit in the first half, but this year, they've been in a constant state of loss. Selling cars results in a loss, and not selling them results in an even bigger loss. For the third quarter, the manufacturer plans to increase sales by 10% over the second quarter without any policy adjustments. Given the current situation, Mercedes-Benz salespeople are pessimistic about future prices. A salesperson from Volvo reported that their sales volume fell by about 15% in the first half of this year, compared to the same period last year, selling only 300 cars in the first 6 months. The profitability has further deteriorated, with each car sold resulting in an average loss of over 4,000 yuan. The situation can be described as extremely difficult. A salesperson from GAC Honda said the best-selling model, the Accord, barely kept up with the sales pace in the first half of this year. Overall sales were just about passable, but this was achieved through significant losses. They calculated that in the first half of this year, they lost over 8,000 yuan on average for every car sold, with no profitable models in their inventory. Even the Fit was sold at a loss of 10,000 yuan per car. Talking about this, a frontline salesperson from SAIC Volkswagen almost cried. He said their local store dropped from the top position last year to 5th place now. Their sales volume fell by 40% and direct sales dropped by 50%, with profits being only half of what they were last year. It's hard to find a Buick salesperson now. A salesperson reported that their store sold just over 100 cars in the first half of this year, equivalent to their monthly sales in 2022. The store is in chaos and their sales director, along with 4 other salespeople, ran away in the first half of the year, leaving only 3 salespeople behind.
Recently, a car blogger on Douyin posted a video revealing the dire situation of many 4S stores. The once successful business model, 4S stores, is facing unprecedented crisis and may even disappear in the near future. During the era of fuel cars, traditional car dealers had more information and controlled car pricing, making significant profits from the price differences. Car loans, financial services, and subsequent maintenance and insurance were also major revenue streams. As a result, dealers made huge profits, often at the expense of consumer interests. The traditional dealership model contained many pitfalls for consumers, with unfair terms causing significant dissatisfaction. For example, terms that prevented customers from rejecting a car after inspection at delivery, policies stating repair only, no compensation for new car quality issues, and clauses that kept deposits if the consumer breached the contract, but refunded the deposit if the dealer breached it. Most people still go to 4S stores for car purchases, repairs, and maintenance because they trust the professional standards of these stores. However, some unscrupulous dealers or individual 4S store staff exploit this trust to commit fraud, damaging the reputation of stores. In recent years, the price war in the car market has severely impacted dealers' profits. The rise of direct sales stores has directly challenged the brand barriers established by traditional 4S stores. In July 2013, Tesla introduced its direct sales model to China. With the opening of its first experience center at Parkview Green in Beijing, other Chinese car brands quickly followed suit. Brands like NIO, Li Auto, XPeng, and Neta primarily use direct sales, rapidly expanding their sales and service networks. After establishing their presence in major and emerging major cities, these brands quickly expanded their sales channels to second- and third-tier cities. This direct sales model has clearly disrupted the traditional 4S store model. Currently, the number of direct sales stores for new energy vehicle brands is approaching 6,300 and continues to grow. In contrast, the number of traditional 4S stores is rapidly declining. Looking at the development of traditional car dealerships, the industry expanded quickly from single-store operations to large groups starting in 1999. Many dealerships went public starting in 2014, but entered a downturn after 2018, leading to the crisis seen in 2024. A manager of a 4S store recently told local media that they are losing confidence in selling cars. They said, "Especially in July, the market was really bad. Not a single customer showed interest in buying a car. I really don't know what to do. These cars have been sitting here for almost 2 months, and the ones that arrived recently have been here for nearly a month. It's not just about lowering prices anymore. There's no demand for cars at all. We can only wait. There are no other good options." As more 4S stores continue to operate at a loss, the industry reshuffling will persist. Current 4S store owners may need to consider how to transform their business rather than wait for customers to walk in as they did in the past. However, the reality is that those who wanted to buy cars have already done so and have emptied their wallets. Those who haven't bought cars still lack purchasing power and also have empty wallets. This dilemma has left the market in an awkward position. In other words, the days when 4S stores could easily make money are gone for good.